Hi, I'm McKenna Franks, and this is SOAR Adult Literacy Center, located in Starkville, Mississippi. The design for SOAR is based on the art piece Trust Stone Moon by Robert Rauschenberg, which is right here. And it features a blue, gold, and brown color scheme, which is a complementary color scheme. And the blue reflects off of the gold and yellow tones and the brown tones to make each other stand out. The painting also includes an astronaut, which is to represent a hypothetical role model for the students at the center to look up to. This is why outer space is a consistent theme throughout SOAR. There will be large glass windows and wood finishes to follow the aesthetic. SOAR's goal with this concept is to inspire people to reach their ultimate goals in education. Here's the relationship map. It shows the entrance into the reception, and the exit comes out of the cafe, which is a public space, so that anybody can go through and exit the building. And it is actually color coded, so the light blue represents the more traffic rooms, the yellow represents the educational rooms, the brown represents the conference rooms or gathering areas, the light blue green represents the offices, the dark blue represents the miscellaneous / storage janitor closet. And then here is my sketch of the conference room elevation. Here's my key features. It just starts with you enter into the reception room and you're met with the reception desk where you can make transactions or ask them for directions through the building and to contact the director. And then you come out, there's an interactive map of the building. And then you go down these 6-foot hallways, which are wheelchair accessible, into the computer lab. And it's just these tables that line the walls with the computers, so it just gives the maximum amount of people that can be in there. And then you move on to the director's office, which is accessible to the public so that they can ask for help. And within the hallway beside the director's office are the water fountains, which are in an alcove, so they won't obstruct the hallway. Then in room 4 is the cafe, where they can come socialize, eat, or study, and it comes with a kitchenette that helps with storage and food prep. The booths have these tinted glass panels so you can have more privacy. Then we move on to room 5, the classroom, where I added these triangle desks that you can form into a square so you can have a group setting, or you can take them apart to have a test taking setting. And there's also a screen on the front wall and a screen on the back wall so that the person facing the front can see the screen and the person facing the back can also see the screen. There's also a podium in the front for the instructor to speak from. And then we move on to the restrooms. Both of them have accessible stalls. The men has a urinal and 2 sinks, while the women's restroom has a regular stall and double sinks as well. And they both have clearance for wheelchairs in front of them, and both accessible stalls are wheelchair accessible. We move on to room 6, the conference room, and it just has this table in the middle so they can all sit around. And they have screens. There's 3 screens in the room, and they also have a cadenza so they can just have things stored in there. Then you move on to room 7, which is just the counselor's office, and it includes 2 chairs and a L-shaped desk. And that's just so people can come talk to the counselor about and get help on what direction to go in their life. Then you move on to room 8. It's just a small conference room for just come in there and study or talk or have a small meeting that's kind of an informal meeting. Move on to room 9, the instructor's office. The 9 and 10 are both the instructor's offices, and they are both adjacent to each other, so they're convenient to each other, and they're also convenient to the storage room so that they can go get supplies whenever they need to and bring them to the classroom. And then rooms 11 and 12 are just the janitor's closet and the storage room, and that's just to keep storage and cleaning supplies. And the janitor's office is also adjacent to the bathrooms to provide more convenience. And we move on to the axonometric floor plan and exterior elevations. And this is just a aerial view of my floor plan in SketchUp. And my exterior north elevation, which is just the front of the building. It includes stone on the main walls, and this, like, I'm not sure what that's called. And the logo above the door. There's also an awning for in case it rains, you can go under it. And there's an outside sitting area, and to make it look more welcoming. And the back has this lattice wall, and it just adds a nice, more biophilic design to the building. And you can also see inside the classroom into this window, which is pretty cool because there's the artwork. And it includes concrete on the main wall, stone on the other parts of the building, and asphalt shingles on the gable / hip roof. And then we move into the reception room. This is my perspective. It includes the logo on the back wall with this accent blue tile wall. And I included the plants to include biophilic design to give them the feeling of being connected to nature. And then this is kind of like a tinted, transparent glass accent thing on the wall. And it's just kind of like, it goes towards the door to provide wayfinding. So you just know where you're going, like you know where, the seats are right there. And there's the reception desk that's just easily accessible. We just go up and ask them where to go. And we also have little tables by the little blue accent chairs. And I chose those accent chairs because they reminded me of space because of their roundness, and they looked really comfortable. And I also included one of my concept art pieces on this wall to just tie in the concept more and reflect the triangular logo of SOAR. The floors are this marble tile that reminded me of the moon, so I felt like that would follow the theme a lot. The blue tile and the blonde wood desk. This is the furniture, just an up close. And this is the elevation. The classroom and computer lab. The computer lab, as you can see, has this accent wall where the window is, just to add more contrast and give the room more pops of color, even though it's kind of subtle. And then this white wall is accompanied by the artwork that follows the concept because it has the gold, the blue, the brown, the triangle shapes. So it's just a nice accent to the whole room, and it just matches the chairs with the blue. And of course this white task tables to go around the room. It has a marble tile floor as well and blonde wood wall. Then the classroom also has the marble tile, and the desks have this gold and white kind of looking wood. And there are the paintings on the side of the wall of the inspirational figures. The giant window to let in a lot of daylight, and then there's the shades. And I also added these acoustics, hanging acoustics for the wall, and they really go with my main painting of my concept. And I thought they'd be really good for when the teacher's talking, like there won't be so much of an echo, and it'll help sound quality in the room. And I also added this painting in the front wall, and it's part of my concept paintings. And as you can see, there's a screen, and you can't see the other screen, but there's two screens so that everybody can see what the teacher's presenting. And then you show the individual triangle desks, and you see how they are put together to have a group setting. And then the podium. The instructor's office. The instructor's office is meant to inspire and allow customization, which is why it has these little decorations, but of course the instructor is allowed to customize it themselves. But I added this geometric hanging gold art piece, and it really reflects the brand of SOAR. And I also added the marble tile in this room as well. And there's 2 blue accent walls and a white wall to balance out the contrast. And I also continue to use the blonde wood in this office so that it keeps with all the other desk materials. And this chair right here, the guest chairs they were inspiring to me because they reminded me of space. Okay. Then we move on to the cafe, and in here it's just a really bright, welcoming, warm room. This accent wall has the plants with the biophilic design, and there's also some over with the booths and on the round shelf. And it just looks very inviting and friendly. There are bistro tables to encourage more socialization, but then there's also the option of going to the booths to have more privacy and be able to study. And of course, there's the kitchenette. Yep. And then here's the bistro table, the dining chair, the booth. White tile for this floor, just because there was already a lot of gold. I didn't want to put even more gold, and I felt white balanced it out very well. Here's the elevation, and it just shows a better view of this wall, which has 2 doors into the cafe so that more people can enter it. The conference room and small conference room is this page. Conference room, it includes the acoustics as well, just like the classroom had, and it just keeps the consistency of the whole building, and they really make the room look unique. I chose just these blue task chairs so they wouldn't overwhelm the room. It gave a good contrast to all the gold color. And then this round futuristic white table for the conference table to go with the theme, and there's 3 screens for them to look at so they can present a lot of presentation. And this wall, this back wall with the blue tile and the yellow triangle actually mimics the reception wall so that it follows SOAR's brand. And there's also this gold chandelier at the top above the table so it can light up the table and act as a task lighting utensil. Okay. And the tile on the floor is this beige tile. It's triangular shaped, and I chose it because it goes with the triangular logo. The small conference room was originally dark blue, but I changed it to light blue on these accent walls and white on this wall to make it look bigger. And it has these modern wood side tables that are dark wood just to have contrast. And there's also a plant to add biophilic design. And this is the couch and the abstract lounge chair. Here's my restroom elevation. It includes an accessible restroom with grab bars and a urinal because it's the men's restroom, and then 2 soap dispensers and 2 sinks and a sun mirror. And the royal blue tile, the mosaic countertop, and white tile to have like a calming space for the restroom. The wayfinding of the building includes the room numbers and the interactive wayfinding map, and it's just a computer. It's like a touch screen, and it also has different languages, and it can have voice commands, so it can talk and help somebody who can't really see the screen. So all in all, SOAR Adult Literacy Center is a place for people to come and be inspired and to just reach their goals and to try to reach the potential they know they have. So thank you very much. That's the end of my presentation.